Okay, moving on to these beautiful things. So good. Mm. 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 Oh my god. Mm. Mm. So good. Mm. 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 Oh, food. Mm. So good. Mm. 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 Oh God. Mm. 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 Oh. Mm. Oh. Mm. 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 Ah. Mm. 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 Ah. Mm. 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 Oh God. Whew. Mm. I'm getting so full. I can't unbutton my button because my hands are full of chicken wings. Oh God, my belly's gonna burst. Mm. Oh. Mm. Oh. Mm. 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 Oh. Mm. 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 Oh God. Oh. 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 Mm. Oh. 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 Mm. Mm. Oh. Mm. 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 God. Oh. Oh. Mm. 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 No. Mm. 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 Oh my God. There's more. Oh, they're so good. Oh. Mm. 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 Wow. Mm. 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 Oh. 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 Whew. Oh. Oh. Okay. Whew. Come on, belly. Mm. 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 Ah. Mm. Ah. Oh. Mm. Mm.
Oregon is one of the best waterfall states in the U.S. because of its lush forests, volcanic geology, and abundant rivers. There are hundreds of waterfalls across the state, but I'll describe the most notable ones, grouped by region so it's easier to understand. Columbia River Gorge, most famous waterfall area in Oregon. Multnomah Falls, the tallest and most iconic, at 620 feet, dropping in 2 tiers with a stone footbridge in between. It's the most photographed waterfall in Oregon. Horsedale Falls, a 176-foot horsetail-shaped drop right along the historic Columbia River Highway, easily accessible. Bridal Veil Falls, a 2-tiered, 118-foot cascade with the romantic name and short hike access. Litourelle Falls, a stunning plunge waterfall, 249 feet high, dropping over columnar basalt. Wakena Falls, a 242-foot tiered waterfall with mossy, fern-filled scenery. Aloha Falls, a hidden gem plunging 213 feet into a mossy amphitheater. Punchbowl Falls, a favorite for hikers and swimmers, 35 feet high, but very scenic, with a unique punchbowl-shaped basin. Fairy Falls, a delicate, fan-shaped 20-foot fall tucked into Wakena Canyon. Willamette Valley and Silver Falls State Park, known as the crown jewel of Oregon's state parks, with the Trail of 10 Falls Loop. South Falls, the park star, a 177-foot plunge you can walk behind. North Falls, a 136-foot waterfall with a deep cave-like recess trail behind it. Middle North Falls, 106 feet tall, curtain-like, with trail access behind. Lower South Falls, 93 feet, another behind the falls experience. Upper North Falls, a smaller but beautiful 65-foot drop. Other falls in the loop: Drake, Winter, Double, Twin, and Lower North Falls, ranging from 30 to 93 feet. Central Oregon and Cascadesal Creek Falls, Oregon's second tallest single drop at 286 feet, near Willamette Pass. Coosa Falls, a powerful 70-foot waterfall on the Mackenzie River. Sally Falls, just upstream of Coosa, 100 feet tall, roaring through a lava canyon. Proxy Falls, a fan-shaped, misty, and extremely photogenic 226-foot waterfall near Mackenzie Pass. Tomalo Falls, a 97-foot plunge near Bend, with hiking access to smaller upper falls. Paulina Falls, Twin Falls, plunging 80 feet inside Newberry National Volcanic Monument. Southern Orgontakiti Falls, one of the most famous, 113 feet tall, framed by columnar basalt. Watson Falls, at 272 feet, the tallest in southern Oregon, and very dramatic. Mill Creek Falls, an impressive 173-foot drop in Prospect State Scenic Viewpoint. Bar Creek Falls, nearby Mill Creek, 240 feet tall, narrow and elegant. Persimmon Falls, smaller but scenic, a hidden gem near Prospect. Oregon Costug Point Falls, a small waterfall that flows directly onto the beach, best seen at low tide. Munson Creek Falls, at 319 feet, the tallest waterfall in the Oregon Coast Range. Sweet Creek Falls, a series of cascades, 10 total, near Mapleton, lush with moss and ferns. In summary, Oregon has hundreds of waterfalls, but the most famous are Multnomah iconic, Silver Falls State Park's Trail of 10 Falls, Salt Creek and Proxy Falls in the Cascades, and Takati and Watson in southern Oregon. Oregon has so many waterfalls. I'll map out a road trip camping and hiking itinerary that links the best waterfall regions: Columbia River Gorge, Silver Falls State Park, Central Cascades, and Southern Oregon. This is ideal for 7-10 days, but you could shorten or extend it depending on your time. Oregon Waterfall Road Trip Itinerary: Camping plus hiking. Day 1-2, Columbia River Gorge Base Camp, Ainsworth or Eagle Creek Campground hikes and falls. Multnomah Falls 620ft, must-see. Litourelle Falls Loop easy 2.4 miles. Passes Upper and Lower Litourelle. Wakena Ferry Falls Trail moderate 2.4 miles. Fan-shaped Ferry Falls is a highlight. Punchbowl Falls via Eagle Creek Trail moderate 4 miles round trip. Classic swimming spot. Camping, Ainsworth State Park close to Multnomah or Eagle Creek Campground first come, first served, near Punch Bowl. Day 3, Silver Falls State Park Base Camp, Silver Falls Campground, hike, Trail of 10 Falls Loop 7, 2 mi, moderate, passes 10 waterfalls including South Falls, North Falls, and Lower South Falls. You can walk behind several of them. Camping, Silver Falls State Park Campground showers, reservable. Day 4-5, Central Oregon Cascades Base Camp, Mackenzie River Campgrounds hikes and falls, Sahalee and Coosa Falls Loop easy 2.6 miles along the Mackenzie River, 100 feet, and 7 Proxy Falls Trail easy 1.6 mile, photogenic 226 feet fan-shaped fall. Salt Creek Falls Oregon's second tallest, 286 feet, short viewpoint hike. Camping, Ice Cap Campground near Sahalee and Coosa, Paradise Campground shady riverside sites on the Mackenzie. Day 6-7, Bend and Newberry Volcanic Monument Base Camp, Tomalo State Park or Paulina Lake hikes and falls, Tomalo Falls Trail easy 1 mile to the viewpoint, extend to Upper Falls for a 7 miles loop. Paulina Falls easy 0.5 mile to 80 feet Twin Falls in Newberry National Monument. Camping, Tomalo State Park near Bend, good base for town plus nature. Paulina Lake Campground inside Newberry Monument. Day 8-9, Southern Oregon Waterfall Loop Base Camp, Tocatee Lake Campground hikes and falls, Tocatee Falls short 0.8 mile hike to 113 feet iconic cascade, Watson Falls moderate 1 mile loop to 272 feet waterfall, Mill Creek and Bar Creek Falls short hikes, dramatic side-by-side waterfalls, Persimmon Falls hidden gem, quick detour. Camping, Tocatee Lake Campground or Diamond Lake Campground bigger lake setting. Optional Day 10, Oregon Coast Base Camp, Cape Lookout or Nehalem Bay Falls, Munson Creek Falls 319ft, tallest on the Oregon coast. Hug Point Falls small, seasonal waterfall spilling onto the beach at low tide. Sweet Creek Falls Trail easy 2 miles hike with multiple cascades. Camping, Cape Lookout or Nehalem Bay State Park both oceanfront. Road trip notes length, 7-10 days loop from Portland. Best season late spring early fall May-October. Snow can block higher elevation falls in winter or spring. Total driving, 7,00800 miles for full loop. Highlights, walk behind falls at Silver Falls Espy, Punch Bowl swimming in Gorge, volcanic scenery at Proxy Falls and Newberry Basalt Amphitheater at Tocatee. Pennsylvania is full of waterfalls thanks to its Appalachian Mountains, forested gorges, and glacier-carved valleys. The state has hundreds of waterfalls, especially concentrated in the Poconos and Ricketts Glen State Park. Here's a breakdown by region and the most notable ones. Ricketts Glen State Park, Columbia, Sullivan counties. This is Pennsylvania's waterfall capital with 24 named waterfalls along the Falls Trail 2 miles. Ganoga Falls, the tallest at 94 feet, dramatic curtain drop. Ozone Falls 60-foot plunge. Harrison Wright Falls 27 feet, very photogenic. Sheldon Reynolds Falls 36 feet, graceful cascade. Tuscarora Falls 47 feet, mossy rock setting. Shawnee Falls 30 feet, picturesque tiered shape. Many smaller but scenic falls like Erie, Delaware, Mohican, and Wyandotte. Pocono Mountains, a waterfall-rich region in northeastern PAC. Bushkill Falls, known as the Niagara of Pennsylvania, an 8-fall series with boardwalk trails. The main fall is 100 feet. Raymondskill Falls, Pennsylvania's tallest at 178 feet 3 tiers. Dingman's Falls, second tallest, 130 feet, with an accessible boardwalk trail. Silverthread Falls, slender 80-foot cascade near Dingman's. Shahola Falls, a wide, powerful cascade near Lake Wallenpaupack. Hawk Falls, a 25-foot waterfall in Hickory Run State Park. Rizika Falls, 2 falls on the Broadhead Creek, popular with scouts and hikers. Western Pennsylvania Acubum Falls Ohiopyle State Park, 30 feet tall, picturesque plunge you can walk behind, one of the most popular. Ohiopyle Falls Yuffieogeny River, a wide, 20-foot cascade across the river in Ohiopyle. Jonathan Run Falls and Sugar Run Falls Ohiopyle SB smaller but scenic trail accessible waterfalls. Buttermilk Falls Indiana County 45 feet tall, and you can walk behind it, once owned by Fred Rogers' family. Springfield Falls Mercer County 40-foot curtain waterfall. North Central Paw Wild's Angel Falls Remote, one of the tallest in Paw at about 70 feet, deep in Loyalsock State Forest. Jacoby Falls 29 feet, beautiful spring flow in Loyalsock. Rusty Glessner Falls smaller hidden gem in Tioga County. Ketchum Run Falls Mossy, tiered cascades in Worlds and State Park. Other notable Falskland Onoko Falls Lehigh Gorge State Park. Once a famous 3-tiered hike, but trails are currently closed for safety. Nay, August Falls Scranton, a 20-foot waterfall in Nay August Park, with a pedestrian bridge overlook. Scenic and unnamed cascades found in many state forests and parks, especially after heavy rain. Summary: Pennsylvania's most famous waterfalls are Ricketts Glen 24 Falls, including Genoga 94 ft, Bushkill Falls 8 Falls, Maine 100 feet, Raymondskill 178 ft, tallest in Paw Dingman's 130 ft, Cucumber Falls iconic 30 feet in Ohiopyle, a multi-day camping and hiking itinerary for exploring Pennsylvania's best waterfalls. I'll connect the 3 richest regions: Ricketts Glen State Park in Paw, the Pocono Mountains Delaware Water Gap area, and Ohiopyle State Park SW Paw. This makes for a 6-7 day road trip loop with camping and waterfall-focused hikes. Pennsylvania Waterfall Road Trip Itinerary Camping plus Hiking. Day 1-2. Ricketts Glen State Park Northeast, Paw Base Camp, Ricketts Glen State Park Campground Dike, Falls Trail System 7 2 full loop, moderate. See 22 named waterfalls, including Genoga Falls 94 ft, tallest in Park Ozone Falls 60 ft, Tuscarora, Cayuga, Mohican, and Delaware Falls 30-40 ft each. Camping. Ricketts Glen State Park Campground wooded sites, reservable near Lake Jean. Notes: this is a must-see, often ranked among the best waterfall hikes in the eastern U.S. Day 3-4, Pocono Mountains Delaware Water Gap Region Base Camp. Dingman's Campground along Delaware River or Worthington State Forest NJ side hikes and falls. Raymondskill Falls Trail 04 Me, Paw's tallest at 150 feet, 3-tiered. Dingman's Falls and Silverthread Falls Boardwalk Trail, easy access. Dingman's is 130 feet. Bushkill Falls, Niagara of Paw, private park with 8 waterfalls. Main drop 100 feet. Trail options 1-. Hawk Falls Trail 1, 5 mi round trip in Hickory Run State Park, 25 feet plunge. Camping. Dingman's Campground Primitive Riverside or Promised Land State Park larger campground, lake setting. Day 5-6. Laurel Highlands Ohiopyle State Park Southwest Paw Base Camp. Kentuck Campground inside Ohiopyle Spikes and Falls. Cucumber Falls 30 ft, Curtain Falls, photogenic, trail to base. Ohiopyle Falls 20 ft, Broad Horseshoe Cascade on Yuffieogeny River in Town Center. Jonathan Run Trail 2 mi, multiple smaller cascades. Meadow Run Trail 3 mi loop with slides and waterfalls. Camping. Kentuck Campground reservable, wooded, showers available. Optional, visit Fallingwater Frank Lloyd Wright House nearby, blends architecture with waterfalls. Day 7 optional extension, Pennsylvania Wilds North Central Paw Base Camp, Loyalsock State Forest primitive camping hikes and falls. Angel Falls Trail 3 mi round trip, seasonal 70 feet drop. Jacoby Falls Trail 2 mi, 29 feet plunge, best in spring. Camping, primitive backpacking or state forest sites. Road trip logistic start or end point. Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. Loop works either way. Total driving, 700,800 miles if connecting all three major regions. Best season, late spring to early fall, May-October. Spring offers strongest flows. Highlights, walk behind waterfalls at Ricketts Glen. Tallest waterfalls in the state, Ramonskill, Dingmans. Classic Appalachian Gorge scenery at Ohiopyle. Rhode Island is the smallest U.S. state, and unlike Pennsylvania or Oregon, it doesn't have tall mountain-fed waterfalls. However, it does have several small but charming falls, often linked to historic mills and rivers. Most are cascades or man-made enhancements, but they are still scenic and tied to the state's early industrial history. Here are the notable waterfalls in Rhode Island. Northern Rhode Island, Slater Mill Falls, Pawtucket Falls. Pawtucket, located on the Blackstone River next to the historic Slater Mill, often called the birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution. A broad, multi-tiered cascade, rather than a tall drop, central to the mill village setting. Albion Falls, Lincoln, found along the Blackstone River Bikeway near Albion Village. A wide, stair-step cascade created by old mill dams, with scenic views from bridges. Manville Dam Falls, Lincoln Nather Mill Dam waterfall along the Blackstone River. Not tall, but visually striking with rushing white water over a stone dam. Central Rhode Island Harris Mill Dam Falls, Coventry, located on the Pawtuxet River. A picturesque mill dam waterfall, with ruins of historic mill buildings nearby. Pontiac Mill Falls, Warwick, found on the Pawtuxet River, were water-powered 19th-century textile mills. Still an attractive cascade near redeveloped mill buildings. Western Rhode Island Wyoming Dam Falls, Richmond on the Wood River, with a small waterfall formed by a low dam, surrounded by forested river scenery, popular for fishing and paddling. Shannock Falls, Richmond or Charlestown, a multi-tiered waterfall over ledges in the Pawcatuck River, near the historic Shannock Village. One of the more natural-looking falls in the state, though partially dam-influenced. Summaritolist natural waterfalls. Rhode Island doesn't have dramatic mountain waterfalls. Most scenic or historic, Slater Mill Falls, industrial history, and Shannock Falls, natural river setting. Best region for a waterfall outing, the Blackstone River Valley, where old mill dams create several cascading falls tied to New England's industrial past. Rhode Island is small. You can easily combine waterfalls, historic sites, bike trails, and camping into one weekend loop. This itinerary focuses on the Blackstone River Valley, birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution, plus some western Rhode Island natural spots. Rhode Island weekend road trip itinerary theme. Waterfalls plus history, plus biking, plus camping. Day 1. Blackstone River Valley Northern Rebase. Lincoln Woods State Park Campground. Morning historic sites and waterfall. Slater Mill historic site, Pawtucket. Visit the birthplace of America's textile industry. Beside Slater Mill Falls, Pawtucket Falls on the Blackstone River. Walk around Pawtucket Village to see preserved mill buildings. Afternoon biking and waterfalls. Blackstone River Bikeway, Woonsocket to Cumberland stretch, a scenic 18-mile paved trail along the river. Stop at Albion Falls and Manville Dam Falls, both visible from bridges or short side paths off the bikeway. Picnic at one of the riverfront parks. Evening camping and relaxation. Camp at Lincoln Woods State Park offers wooded campsites, swimming areas, and hiking trails. Optional short hike around Olney Pond for sunset views. Day 2. Western Rhode Island Wood River and Pawcatuck River Base. Burlingame State Park Campground. Morning nature and waterfall. Drive south to Shannock Falls, Richmond. Charlestown, a natural-style waterfall over rocky ledges in a historic mill village. Stop at Wyoming Dam Falls, Richmond on the Wood River, good for fishing, paddling, or just riverside scenery. Afternoon biking or hiking. Head to Arcadia Management Area, Rhode Island's largest forest area, with biking and hiking trails through ponds and woodlands. Alternative. Ride a section of the Washington Secondary Bike Path, a 19-mile rail trail stretching from Cranston to Coventry, passing historic villages and river views. Evening camping and stargazing. Stay overnight at Burlingame State Park Campground, large campground near Watchog Pond, canoe rentals available. Campfire evening with stargazing in a darker sky area. Trip logistics. Best season, spring through early fall, April-October for biking and camping. Total driving, less than 150 miles for the whole loop. Very doable in a weekend. Highlights: industrial history at Slater Mill, scenic river biking along the Blackstone River Bikeway, peaceful forest and pond camping at Lincoln Woods and Burlingame, natural beauty at Shannock Falls and Wood River. Yes, South Carolina actually has many waterfalls, especially in the northwestern corner of the state where the Blue Ridge Mountains begin. Most are located in Oconee, Pickens, and Greenville counties, inside state parks, national forests, and preserves. Here's a breakdown of the most notable ones. Oconee County Northwest, SC Sumter National Forest and State Parks. 1. Sequina Falls near Valhalla, a 100-foot tiered waterfall with a legend tied to a Cherokee maiden. Short hike from Stumpfus Tunnel Park. 2. Station Cove Falls, a scenic 60-foot free fall in Sumter National Forest, reached via an easy 0.5-mile trail through wildflowers. 3. Yellow Branch Falls, a 75-foot tiered cascade with dozens of small drops over a wide rock face, reached by a moderate 1.5-mile hike. 4. King Creek Falls, a 70-foot cascade in the Chattooga River area, accessible via short 0.5-mile trail from Burrell's Ford Road. 5. Lee Falls, a 75-foot fan-shaped waterfall, often called one of the most beautiful in South Carolina. It requires a rugged 3-mile hike. 6. Riley Moore Falls, a 12-foot high, 100-foot wide curtain waterfall on the Chaga River, with a sandy beach popular for swimming. 7. Fall Creek Falls, a multi-tiered series of falls totaling about 150 feet in Sumter National Forest, Pickens County, Table Rock, and Jockasee Gorges region. 8. Twin Falls, a.k.a. Reedy Cove Falls, 2 side-by-side falls, one 75 feet, the other 45 feet, tumbling into a rocky amphitheater. 10. Mill Creek Falls, a pretty 25-foot waterfall in Table Rock State Park. 11. Carrick Creek Falls, a 15-foot cascade, also in Table Rock State Park, reached on a short family-friendly hike. 12. Virginia Hawkins Falls, a 25-foot fan-shaped fall along the Foothills Trail in the Jockasee Gorges, Greenville County, Caesars Head, and Jones Gap areas. 13. Rainbow Falls, a dramatic 100-foot free fall in Jones Gap State Park, reached by a strenuous 5-mile round-trip hike. 14. Jones Gap Falls, a smaller but graceful 40-foot waterfall on the Middle Saluda River, with a 2-mile hike. 15. Falls Creek Falls, a beautiful 125-foot multi-tiered waterfall in the Mountain Bridge Wilderness. 16. Wildcat Branch Falls, a roadside waterfall on US Highway 276 in Cleveland, with multiple cascades. The upper falls require a short hike. 17. Slicking Falls, a.k.a. Slickum Falls, a 30-foot cascade within Caesars Head State Park, accessible via a moderate trail. Other notable South Carolina waterfalls. 18. Show-Ram Falls, a 30-foot wide waterfall on the Chaga River in Show-Ram County Park, with a pedestrian suspension bridge above it. 19. Todd Creek Falls near Clemson, 20-foot waterfall tucked away in the woods. 20. Big Bend Falls on the Chattooga River, the largest drop 30ft on this national wild and scenic river, powerful and rugged, reached via a strenuous hike. Summary: South Carolina's waterfalls are concentrated in the Blue Ridge Escarpment region. Some are small roadside cascades like Wildcat Falls. Others require serious hikes. Rainbow, Lee, Big Bend, and a few are boat-accessible. Laurel Fork Falls on Lake Jockasee. South Carolina's Blue Ridge Escarpment region, the upstate, is full of waterfalls, trails, and forested campgrounds. Here's a 5-6 day waterfall road trip itinerary linking Oconee County Sumter National Forest, Table Rock or Jockasee Gorges, and the Mountain Bridge Wilderness, Jones Gap, and Caesar's Head. South Carolina waterfall road trip itinerary, camping plus hiking loop through the upstate day 1 Oconee County. Issaquena and Yellow Branch Base Camp, Oconee State Park Campground. Morning, visit Issaquena Falls 100F tiered waterfall, 0.3 mile hike from Stumpfest Tunnel Park. Explore Stumpfest Tunnel, an abandoned railroad tunnel nearby. Afternoon hike, Yellow Branch Falls Trail 3 mi round trip, moderate 75 feet tall tiered cascade in a lush forest. Camping, Oconee State Park wooded campground with lake swimming, showers, and fishing. Day 2 King Creek and Station Cove Falls Base Camp, same as Day 1 Oconee State Park. Morning, Station Cove Falls Trail 1 mi round trip, easy, passes wildflower meadows to a 60 feet waterfall. Afternoon, hike to King Creek Falls 1 mi round trip, moderate, 70 feet cascade. Optional swim at Riley Moore Falls 12 ft high, but 100 feet wide with a sandy beach. Camping, stay another night at Oconee State Park. Day 3 Lake Jockasee and Table Rock State Park Base Camp. Table Rock State Park Campground. Morning, head east to Lake Jockasee, boat or kayak to Laurel Fork Falls 80 ft, plunges into the lake. If you prefer hiking, try Virginia Hawkins Falls 25 ft fan-shaped waterfall along Foothills Trail, 2 mi hike. Afternoon, arrive at Table Rock State Park. Hike Carrick Creek Trail 2 mi loop, passes Carrick Creek Falls and other small cascades. Camping, Table Rock State Park full facilities, lakefront sites, and stunning views of Table Rock Mountain. Day 4 Twin Falls and Jockasee Gorges Base Camp, Devil's Fork State Park on Lake Jockasee. Morning, visit Twin Falls Reedy Cove Falls 0.5 mile trail to Twin Cascades, 175 feet and 1. Afternoon, explore Jockasee Gorges area trails, or rent a kayak from Devil's Fork SB to explore hidden cascades along the shoreline. Camping, Devil's Fork State Park Campground lakeside sites with boat access. Day 5 Jones Gap State Park, Rainbow Falls Base Camp, Jones Gap State Park Campground. Morning hike, Rainbow Falls Trail 5 mi round trip, strenuous, but rewards you with a dramatic 100 feet waterfall. Afternoon, short hike to Jones Gap Falls 40 ft, a gentler cascade near the river. Camping, Jones Gap State Park limited sites reserve early. Day 6 Caesar's Head and Scenic Drive Back optional base, Caesar's Head State Park or nearby lodging. Morning, stop at roadside Wildcat Branch Falls on Hawaii 276. Hike Falls Creek Falls Trail 2 mi round trip, moderate 125 feet multi-tiered waterfall. Afternoon, scenic overlook at Caesar's Head State Park. If you're up for more, take the Raven Cliff Falls Trail 4 mi round trip, moderate view of 420 feet waterfall tallest in SC, but seen from across a gorge. Camping and logistics best season, spring early fall April October. Spring has strongest water flow. Trip length, 5-6 days loop can be shortened to a weekend by focusing on just Oconee or Jones Gap. Driving loop, Greenville Oconee, Jockasee or Table Rock Jones Gap or Caesar's Head back to Greenville. Must-see highlights, Issaquena and Yellow Branch Classic Oconee, Laurel Fork falls into Lake Jockasee unique boat access, Rainbow Falls best hike, and Raven Cliff Falls tallest. South Dakota does have waterfalls, though most are concentrated in the Black Hills region western SD, where forested canyons, creeks, and rugged granite terrain create ideal conditions. While the eastern plains of South Dakota are mostly flat, The Black Hills area contains scenic cascades and plunges, many accessible by short hikes or roadside stops. Here are the most notable waterfalls in South Dakota. Black Hills region, Western SD. Spearfish Canyon area, the highest concentration of waterfalls. Bridal Veil Falls, a roadside 60-foot cascade right off Spearfish Canyon, scenic byway US 14A. One of the most photographed falls in South Dakota. Rough Lock Falls, a stunning multi-tiered waterfall near Savoy, with accessible trails, picnic spots, and boardwalk viewpoints. Spearfish Falls near the Spearfish Canyon Lodge, a beautiful 47-foot waterfall hidden in a shaded canyon, accessible via short hike. Rapid City and surroundings. Falls Park, Big Sioux Falls. In Sioux Falls, Eastern SD, a wide, powerful cascade where the Big Sioux River drops over Pink Quartzite. It's the namesake of the city and a major landmark. Hippie Hole Falls, Aka Battle Creek Falls. Access requires a moderate hike near Keystone, a 20-foot waterfall with a natural swimming hole, popular for cliff jumping and wading. Custer State Park and Black Elk Wilderness. Grizzly Bear Falls, a small but scenic cascade along the Centennial Trail in the Black Elk Wilderness. Remote and less visited. Sylvan Lake Falls, seasonal, a spillway cascade below Sylvan Lake Dam. Not a natural waterfall, but picturesque in the granite setting. Other Black Hills waterfall. Sharon Creek Falls, a lesser-known cascade near Iron Creek Lake, popular with anglers and hikers. Cascade Falls near Hot Springs, a series of warm water cascades along Fall River. Fed by natural springs, the water stays relatively warm year-round, making it a popular swimming spot. Summary. Eastern SD. Only major waterfall is Falls Park in Sioux Falls, urban but impressive. Western SD. Black Hills, dozens of scenic falls, especially in Spearfish Canyon. Bridal Veil, Rough Lock, Spearfish Falls. Unique. Cascade Falls offers warm, spring-fed swimming pools, and Hippie Hole is a natural plunge pool for adventurous hikers. South Dakota's waterfalls are spread mainly between Sioux Falls East and the Black Hills West, so a waterfall road trip works best if you make a loop across the state. Below is a 5-7 day itinerary with hiking plus camping options. South Dakota Waterfall Road Trip Itinerary Theme. Waterfalls plus hiking plus camping. Day 1, Sioux Falls Eastern SD Base Camp, Sioux Falls Koa or Palisades State Park. 30-minute away. Morning, afternoon. Explore Falls Park in downtown Sioux Falls. The Big Sioux River plunges over pink quartzite ledges. Multiple drops and walking paths around the falls. Short side trip to Palisades State Park for hiking among quartzite cliffs. Camping, Palisades State Park Campground, wooded sites, scenic quartzite formations. Day 2-3, Spearfish Canyon Black Hills Base Camp, Spearfish City Campground or Rough Lock Falls area, dispersed camping nearby. Morning. Day 2, drive west across the state 5 hours to Spearfish. Take the Spearfish Canyon Scenic Byway US 14A. Waterfalls to visit. Bridal Veil Falls roadside stop, 60 feet cascade. Spearfish Falls 47 feet drop. Short easy hike near Latchstring Inn. Rough Lock Falls multiple tiers. Accessible via short trail with picnic spots. Day 3 hike. Explore Iron Creek Trail or 76 Trail for canyon views. Both connect to Spearfish Canyon Falls. Camping, Spearfish City Campground full service, along Spearfish Creek. Or Timberline Campground, more rustic, closer to the canyon. Day 4, Custer State Park and Sylvan Lake Base Camp. Sylvan Lake Campground. Morning. Drive south into Custer State Park. Waterfalls, Sylvan Lake Falls, small dam-fed cascade, but beautiful in granite setting. Hike the Sunday Gulch Trail, 3-mi loop boulder-filled canyon with small cascades. Optional adventure. Nearby Black Elk Wilderness has Grizzly Bear Falls. Remote cascade, requires backcountry hike. Camping, Sylvan Lake Campground, scenic lakefront camping, tent and RV friendly. Day 5, Keystone and Hippie Hole Falls Base Camp, Horse Thief Lake Campground near Mt. Rushmore. Morning. Hike to Hippie Hole Falls Battle Creek 20 feet plunge with natural swimming pool moderate hike, fun spot. Afternoon. Explore Mt. Rushmore or continue hiking in the Black Hills. Camping. Horse Thief Lake Campground close to Rushmore, wooded lakeside. Day 6 Hot Springs and Cascade Falls Base Camp, Angostura State Recreation Area morning afternoon. Visit Cascade Falls near Hot Springs warm spring-fed cascades with swimming pools. Optionally, soak at Evans Plunge Mineral Springs and Hot Springs Historic Hot Spring Pool. Camping, Angostura State Recreation Area large lakeside campground with beaches, fishing, and boating. Day 7 Return east begin drive back east across the state. Optionally, stop again at Sioux Falls or Palisades State Park before wrapping up. Trip notes best season. Late spring early fall May-September. Spring has highest waterfall flow. Total driving loop 900 miles if starting or ending in Sioux Falls. Highlights: Falls Park Sioux Falls urban but iconic. Spearfish Canyon scenic byway 3 waterfalls plus hikes. Sylvan Lake and Sunday Gulch Granite Wonderland. Hippie Hole Wild Swimming Spot. Cascade Falls unique warm water swimming cascades. Tennessee is actually one of the waterfall capitals of the eastern U.S., thanks to its rugged Cumberland Plateau, Appalachian Mountains, and deep river gorges. The state has hundreds of waterfalls, ranging from tall plunges to wide cascades. Many are inside state parks and natural areas with excellent hiking and camping. Here are the most notable waterfalls in Tennessee grouped by region. Eastern Tennessee Appalachian Mountains and Great Smoky Mountains 1. Grotto Falls Great Smoky Mountains NP, a 25-foot waterfall along the Trillium Gap Trail near Gatlinburg. Unique because you can walk behind the falls. 2. Laurel Falls Great Smoky Mountains NP 80-foot, two-tiered waterfall reached by a paved 2.6-mile trail. One of the most visited waterfalls in the Smokies. 3. Rainbow Falls Great Smoky Mountains NP. At 80 feet, it's the tallest single-drop waterfall in the Smokies. On sunny days, a rainbow mist often forms. 4. Abrams Falls Great Smoky Mountains NP. Cades Cove. A powerful 20-foot waterfall with a large pool. Short but scenic hike through old growth forest. Cumberland Plateau and Eastern Highland Rim Central Tennessee. This area has the highest concentration of waterfalls in the state. 5. Fall Creek Falls State Park. At 256 feet, it's the tallest free fall waterfall in the eastern U.S. The park also has Cane Creek Falls, Cane Creek Cascades, and Piney Falls. 6. Ozone Falls Cumberland County, a 110-foot plunge into a sandstone amphitheater. Featured in the Disney movie The Jungle Book. 7. Burgess Falls State Park. A series of cascades leading to a final 136-foot drop into a gorge. Short but dramatic hike with multiple waterfall viewpoints. 8. Cummins Falls Cookeville area. A 75-foot waterfall in a deep gorge. Very popular swimming hole permit required to access gorge. 9. Rock Island State Park Great Falls, a wide, powerful waterfall along the Caney Fork River, surrounded by rugged gorge walls. Also home to Twin Falls, a striking cascade pouring out of a cliffside. 10. Greeter Falls South Cumberland State Park, Savage Gulf. A 50-foot waterfall with a spiral staircase leading down to the base. Nearby Boardtree Falls and Foster Falls 60ft, popular for rock climbing. 11. Fiery Gizzard Trail Waterfalls Grundy Forest or South Cumberland State Park, one of the top hikes in Tennessee, featuring Sycamore Falls, Blue Hole Falls, and others along a rugged gorge trail. Western Tennessee waterfalls are rare here, flatter terrain, but there are a few smaller cascades along rivers. Most major falls are in the eastern and central parts of the state. Summaritolist. Fall Creek Falls to 5-6ft. Most visited, Laurel Falls and Abrams Falls in Smokies. Best swimming hole, Cummins Falls and Greeter Falls. Most powerful or unique: Burgess Falls and Great Falls Rock Island. Hidden gems: Foster Falls, Ozone Falls, Fiery Gizzard Trail Falls. Tennessee is one of the best states for a waterfall-centered road trip because you can link the Smoky Mountains in the east with the Cumberland Plateau in central TN, visiting dozens of falls along the way. Here's a 5-7 day camping plus hiking itinerary that balances waterfalls, scenic drives, and classic Tennessee landscapes. Tennessee Waterfall Road Trip Itinerary Theme: Smokies Cumberland Plateau Highland Rimbust Season: Spring High Flow or Fall Cool Weather plus Colors Day 1 Smoky Mountains Gatlinburg Townsend Area Base Camp, Elkmont Campground or Cades Cove Campground Morning. Arrive in Gatlinburg Townsend. Hike: Laurel Falls Trail 2 6mi RT Paved Trail to ADFT Waterfall. Grotto Falls 2 6mi RT Hike behind the waterfall. Optional longer hike: Rainbow Falls 5 4mi RT Tallest in Smokies at ATF. Evening: camp inside the park for easy access to next day. Day 2 Smokies Cades Cove and Abrams Falls Base Camp, Cades Cove Campground Morning, Scenic Loop Drive in Cades Cove Wildlife Viewing. Hike: Abrams Falls Trail 5mi RT 20FT but powerful waterfall with large plunge pool. Evening: sunset at Cades Cove. Camp at Cades Cove Campground. Day 3 transit to Cumberland Plateau Ozone Falls and Rock Island Base Camp, Rock Island State Park Campground Morning. Drive west 3.5 hours toward the Cumberland Plateau. Stop 1 Ozone Falls 110F short walk to rim and base. Stop 2 Rock Island State Park, see Great Falls and Twin Falls water pouring from canyon walls. Evening: camp at Rock Island State Park wooded sites along the river. Day 4 Burgess Falls plus Cummins Falls Cookville Area Base Camp, Cummins Falls or Standing Stone State Park Morning. Drive 45 minutes to Burgess Falls State Park. Hike past a chain of cascades to a dramatic 136 FT drop. Afternoon: Cummins Falls 75 FT hike down into the gorge for a swimming hole experience, permit required. Evening: camp nearby at Standing Stone State Park or Cummins Falls Primitive Campground. Day 5 Fall Creek Falls State Park Base Camp, Fall Creek Falls State Park Campground Morning and Afternoon. Explore Fall Creek Falls State Park, home to Fall Creek Falls 256 FT tallest free fall waterfall east of Mississippi. Cane Creek Falls and Cane Creek Cascades. Piney Falls accessible by short hike. Evening: stay at Fall Creek Falls Campground, modern facilities plus hiking access. Day 6 Savage Gulf and Fiery Gizzard South Cumberland State Park Base Camp, South Cumberland State Park Grundy Forest Campground. Morning: head south 1.5 hours. Hike Greeter Falls Trail 3mi 50 FT plunge plus Blue Hole Falls. Afternoon: Foster Falls 60 FT hike into gorge or watch rock climbers on sandstone cliffs. Optional longer hike: Fiery Gizzard Trail section waterfalls like Sycamore Falls. Evening: camp at Grundy Forest Campground, rustic, shaded. Day 7 return or extra exploration options. Head back east toward Smokies or west toward Nashville. Stop at smaller falls like Rutledge Falls or Old Stone Fort State Archaeological Park with river cascades. Camping overview: Smokies, Elkmont, Cades Cove Cumberland Plateau, Rock Island, Standing Stone, Fall Creek Fall South Cumberland, Grundy Forest or Foster Falls campgrounds. Highlights of this route: waterfalls per day, 2-4 major ones plus several minor cascades. Best hikes: Abrams Falls Smokies, Burgess Falls, Fall Creek Falls Loop, Fiery Gizzard Trail. Unique experiences: swimming at Cummins Falls and Greeter Falls, walk behind Grotto Falls, tallest falls east of the Mississippi. Texas does have waterfalls, though most are smaller than those in mountainous states. Many are spring-fed or appear after heavy rains, and some flow year-round, especially where natural springs support them. Here's a guide to notable waterfalls across the state. Central Texas and Hill Country 1. Hamilton Pool Waterfall. Dripping Springs, a 50-foot waterfall spilling into a natural pool inside a collapsed grotto. Flow varies with rainfall, but is stunning when active. Popular swimming and hiking spot. 2. Pedernales Falls. Johnson City, technically a series of cascading limestone ledges on the Pedernales River. More rapids than a tall waterfall, but still dramatic, especially after rains. 3. Gorman Falls. Colorado. Bend State Park, one of Texas's most beautiful waterfalls, standing about 65 feet tall. Spring-fed, with lush mosses, ferns, and travertine formations. Accessible by a 3-mile round-trip hike. 4. Cross Springs. Spicewood. Multiple small waterfalls flowing into natural swimming holes. A mix of spring-fed cascades and grotto-style drops shaded by cypress trees. 5. West Cave Preserve Waterfall near Austin. A hidden 40-foot waterfall in a lush grotto. Accessible only on guided tours, keeping the ecosystem pristine. North and West Texas. 6. Airfield Falls. Fort Worth. Tarrant County's largest natural waterfall. A small but pretty tiered cascade along the Trinity River, with trails and butterfly gardens nearby. 7. Capote Falls. Presidio County, near Marfa. The tallest waterfall in Texas, at 175 feet. Fed by a permanent spring, it flows year-round in the desert. Located on private property, so access is limited. 8. Dolan Falls. Devil's River near Del Rio, a 10-foot high cascade on one of the cleanest rivers in Texas. The falls span the entire river width. Access is limited to the Nature Conservancy or special permits. East Texas and Panhandle. 9. Cattail Falls. Big Bend National Park. A seasonal waterfall hidden in the desert. Best after rains, with a 60-foot drop framed by canyon walls. The trail was once closed, but has reopened with protections. 10. Madrid Falls. Big Bend Ranch State Park, the second tallest waterfall in Texas, about 100 feet. Seasonal, appearing mainly after rains. Located in a remote canyon, reached by rugged trails. 11. Boykin Springs Waterfall in Jelena National Forest, East Texas. A man-made stone dam spillover forming a charming cascade in a pine forest setting. Great picnic and camping area. Summary: tallest year-round. Capote Falls 175ft, private access. Most beautiful and accessible, Gorman Falls. Colorado. Bend, SP. Hidden desert gems, Cattail Falls and Madrid Falls. Big Bend region. Recreation waterfalls, Hamilton Pool, Cross Springs, Boykin Springs. Texas is so large that you'll need to focus on a region for a practical road trip. I'll design a 7-10 day Texas waterfall road trip itinerary that links the Hill Country, West Texas desert waterfalls, and East Texas forests, with camping and hiking options. Texas Waterfall Road Trip Itinerary Day 1-2. Austin and Hill Country Waterfall. Hamilton Pool Preserve. Dripping Springs short hike to the grotto and waterfall. Swimming allowed when water quality permits. Camping, Pedernales Falls State Park nearby. Pedernales Falls. Johnson City. Hike the river trail for views of limestone cascades. Camping inside the state park with scenic riverfront sites. Cross Springs. Spicewood natural swimming holes fed by waterfalls. On-site camping available beneath cypress trees. Day 3-4. Colorado. Bend State Park. Gorman Falls 3-mile round-trip hike to one of Texas's most stunning waterfalls, 65ft. Also hike to Spicewood Springs and swim in spring-fed pools. Camping, primitive and drive-up sites inside the park. Day 5. Fort Worth stop optional detour North Airfield Falls Conservation Parkacy Trails and Tarrant County's largest natural waterfall. Camping, Eagle Mountain Lake or nearby Corps of Engineers campgrounds. Day 6-7. West Texas Big Bend National Park. Tate Fall seasonal desert waterfall, 60ft. Best after rains. Hike from Oak Spring Trailhead moderate, 3 miles. Explore Big Bend's canyons and hot springs in the Chisos Basin. Camping, Chisos Basin Campground Mountain Views, or Rio Grande Village River Access. Day 8-9. Big Bend Ranch State Park. Madrid Falls, second tallest waterfall in Texas, 100ft. Seasonal, remote hike with rugged terrain. Optional side hike to Fresno Canyon for desert scenery. Camping, primitive backcountry camping inside Big Bend Ranch SP. Day 10. Devils River and Dolan Falls Del Rio area. Dolan Falls wide 10ft cascade across the Devils River, one of the cleanest rivers in the U.S. Access requires permits via the Nature Conservancy or guided paddling trips. Camping, a misted national recreation area campgrounds near Del Rio. Optional extension, East Texas Pine First Boykin Springs Angelina National Forest. Small but scenic waterfall and stone spillway. Family-friendly hiking and camping in pine woodlands. Trip notes: best time to visit: spring, March, May for waterfalls plus wildflowers, or fall OCT November for cooler hiking. Driving distances are Big Austin Big Bend is 7 hours. Breaking up drives with state park stops is ideal. Gear: bring plenty of water, shade, gear, and camping supplies. West Texas sites are remote with limited services. Access notes: Capote Falls is the tallest 175ft, but located on private land, can only be seen by special arrangement or air tours. Utah is better known for its red rock deserts and mountains, but it also has a surprising number of waterfalls, many tucked away in canyons, alpine areas, or national or state parks. Here's a guide to notable waterfalls across Utah. Northern Utah: Stewart Falls, Provo Canyon, near Sundance, a popular 200-foot, two-tiered waterfall cascading down a forested cliff near Mount Timpanogos. The hike is about 3.5 miles round trip, and especially scenic in spring and fall. Bridal Veil Falls, Provo Canyon, near Orem, one of Utah's most famous waterfalls, 607 feet tall with multiple tiers. Easily viewed from the highway, with a short paved trail leading closer. In winter, it often freezes into giant ice columns. Adams Canyon Falls, Layton, Wasatch Front, a 40-foot waterfall at the end of a moderately challenging 3.5-mile round-trip hike. The trail follows a creek through shady forest and sandstone cliffs. Battle Creek Falls, Pleasant Grove, a 50-foot waterfall just a mile from the trailhead, making it a family-friendly hike. The pool below is often waded in during summer. Horsedale Falls, Alpine, near Lone Peak Wilderness, a striking 200-foot fall reached via a steep 4-mile round-trip hike, with panoramic valley views. Donut Falls, Big Cottonwood Canyon, near Salt Lake City, famous for pouring through a round hole in the rock, Donut. The short, family-friendly hike ends with scrambling to the cavern where the waterfall drops through the ceiling. Central Utah: Fifth Water Hot Springs Waterfalls, Diamond Fork Canyon, Spanish Fork area, a series of small waterfalls cascading through a canyon with turquoise hot spring pools. The hike is about 4.5 miles round trip and very popular. Lower Calf Creek Falls, Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, a spectacular 126-foot waterfall spilling into a lush pool in the desert. Reached by a 6-mile round-trip hike through Red Rock Canyon country. Upper Calf Creek Falls, Grand Staircase Escalante, 88-foot waterfall with a steep but shorter trail, about 2 miles round-trip, less visited than the lower falls. Southern Utah: Cascade Falls, near Navajo Lake, Dixie National Forest, a unique waterfall that emerges from a lava tube and drops about 100 feet into a red rock amphitheater, with sweeping views toward Zion National Park. Canaraville Falls, Canara Creek Canyon, Rear Cedar City, a series of small slot canyon waterfalls, reached by hiking in the creek and climbing ladders. Very popular for its adventure feel and photogenic canyon walls. Archangel Falls, the Subway, Zion National Park, a wide cascade along the left fork of North Creek, reached only by a strenuous hike through the subway route. Mystery Falls, Zion National Park, a delicate waterfall that flows seasonally over the cliffs near the mouth of the Narrows. Often seen when starting the Narrows hike. Mossy Cave Waterfall, Bryce Canyon National Park, a smaller waterfall along a short trail, where water from the Tropic Ditch flows past hoodoos. The 1-mile round trip is one of Bryce's few water features. Summary: Utah waterfalls range from towering alpine cascades, Bridal Veil, Stewart Falls to desert oases hidden in Red Rock Canyon's Calf Creek Falls, Canaveral Falls. Many are accessible via short hikes, while others require backcountry treks. Let's build a multi-day Utah waterfall road trip itinerary that combines the alpine cascades of northern Utah with the Red Rock Desert Falls of the south, and includes hiking plus camping options along the way. Utah Waterfall Road Trip Itinerary 7-8 Days Day 1 Salt Lake City Big Cottonwood Canyon Donut Falls 1, 5 mi round trip, easy. Waterfall through a rock, donut, optional add-on, Silver Lake Boardwalk nearby. Camping, Spruces Campground in Big Cottonwood Canyon. Day 2 Provo Canyon and Alpenstop 1. Bridal Veil Falls Easy Roadside Trail, 607 FT Waterfall. Stop 2, Stewart Falls 3, 5 mi RT moderate hike with views of Timpanogos. Camping, Hope Campground in Provo Canyon or Timpanogos Cave Campground. Day 3 Layton and Pleasant Grove hike, Adams Canyon Falls 3, 5 mi RT, moderate canyon hike to 40 FT Falls. Hike to optional, Battle Creek Falls 1 mi RT easy, family friendly. Camping, Mill Campground in American Fork Canyon, with great mountain views. Day 4 Spanish Fork Canyon, Fifth Water Hot Springs Waterfalls 4, 5 mi RT, turquoise hot spring pools plus waterfalls. Relax with a soak in the pools after hiking. Camping, Diamond Fork Campground close to trailhead. Day 5 Escalante Grand Staircase. Hike, Lower Calf Creek Falls 6 mi RT, moderate desert hike to a stunning 126 FT waterfall and pool. Optional, sunset hike to Upper Calf Creek Falls 2 mi RT steep descent. Camping, Calf Creek Campground right at the trailhead, shaded creekside campsites. Day 6 Bryce Canyon a re-hike, Mossy Cave Trail 1 mi RT, easy walk to a small waterfall flowing through hoodoos. Spend afternoon exploring Bryce Canyon's viewpoints Sunset Point, Inspiration Point. Camping, North Campground or Sunset Campground inside Bryce Canyon NP. Day 7 Cedar City and Canara Villa hike, Canara Falls 4 5 mi RT, hike through Slot Canyon with ladders to multiple waterfalls. Very photogenic and adventurous. Camping, Cedar Canyon Campground near Cedar City. Day 8 Navajo Lake and Zion National Park hike 1, Cascade Falls 1, 2 mi RT, easy, water emerging from a lava tube with panoramic red rock views. Optional add-on in Zion, hike to Mystery Falls seen at the start of the Narrows. Camping, Watchman Campground Zion NP or South Campground if available. Highlights of this itinerary: waterfall variety, Alpine Stewart, Bridal Veil plus Desert Calf Creek, Mossy Cave plus Slot Canyon Canara. Balanced hiking, mix of short, family-friendly walks, and moderate 4-6 mile hikes. Camping, National Forest campgrounds plus iconic NP campgrounds. Adventure options, hot springs, soaking, Bryce hoodoos, Zion Slot Canyons. Vermont, known for its lush forests, green mountains, and covered bridges, also has some beautiful waterfalls, ranging from tall plunges to wide cascades tucked in valleys. Here's a guide to Vermont's notable waterfalls. Northern Vermont Bingham Falls Stowe, Smuggler's Notch State Park, a powerful 40-foot waterfall in a narrow gorge. Short but steep trail, 5 mi. Popular for photography and swimming in calmer pools. Moss Glen Falls Stowe, one of Vermont's most photographed waterfalls, 125 feet tall, with multiple tiers flowing down mossy rocks. Short, easy hike 5 mi. Moss Glen Falls, Granville. Another waterfall with the same name, this one right off Route 100. About 35 feet tall, scenic cascade with an easy roadside pull-off and viewing area. Bolton Potholes. Bolton, a series of small waterfalls and natural swimming holes carved into rock. Popular in summer. Sterling Falls Gorge. Stowe area, a series of smaller cascades flowing through a narrow gorge. Accessible by a short trail. Central Vermont. Texas Falls. Hancock, Green Mountain National Forest. Beautiful stepped cascades tumbling through a rocky gorge. Scenic bridge overlooks the falls, with picnic areas and short trails. Falls of Lana. Salisbury, near Lake Dunmore. A striking 100-foot two-tiered waterfall reached by a moderate 1.2-mile hike. Trail continues to Silver Lake for longer hikes. Warren Falls. Warren, Red River Valley, famous for emerald pools and natural rock slides. Not a tall waterfall, about 20 feet, but very scenic and popular for summer swimming. Southern Vermont. Hamilton Falls. Jamaica State Park, a dramatic 1 to 5-foot waterfall, one of the tallest in Vermont. Reached by a 6-mile RT hike along the West River Trail. Swimming discouraged due to strong currents. Lie Brook Falls. Manchester. Lie Brook Wilderness, one of Vermont's tallest falls, 125 feet, reached by a 4.5 miles RT hike through forest. Tall, ribbon-like plunge. Buttermilk Falls. Ludlow, a series of 3 short waterfalls along Branch Brook, with swimming holes below. Family-friendly 0.5-mile trail. Pikes Falls. Jamaica, near Stratton, a 20-foot waterfall with a wide pool below. Accessible by a short walk from Route 30. Summary: Vermont waterfalls range from towering plunges, Moss Glen, Brook, Hamilton, to swimmable cascades, Warren Falls, Buttermilk Falls. Most are accessible by short hikes, while a few require longer forest treks. They're especially beautiful in spring high flow and fall foliage season. Vermont is compact enough that you can visit several waterfalls in just a few days while enjoying camping, hiking, and the Green Mountains. Here's a 2-4 day Vermont waterfall road trip itinerary with outdoor stops. Vermont Waterfall Road Trip Itinerary: Day 1, Northern Vermont. Stowe and Smuggler's Notch. Morning: Moss Glen Falls. Stowe, iconic 125 ft waterfall, short 0.5-mile hike. Midday: Bingham Falls. Smuggler's Notch State Park, 40 ft cascade in a gorge, 0.5-mile hike. Optional: Sterling Falls Gorge for an easy add-on. Evening: explore Stowe Village or drive scenic Smuggler's Notch Pass. Camping: Smuggler's Notch State Park Campground, forest sites, hiking access. Day 2, Central Vermont. Mad River Valley and Green Mountains. Morning: Moss Glen Falls. Granville roadside stop along Route 100, picturesque 35 ft cascade. Midday: Warren Falls. Emerald pools and natural rock slides, great for swimming. Afternoon hike: Texas Falls. Hancock short trail plus bridge, views of cascades in a rocky gorge. Camping: Gifford Wood State Park near Killington, wooded campsites, connects to Appalachian Trail. Day 3, Southern Vermont. Manchester and Jamaica State Park. Morning hike: Lie Brook Falls. Manchester, 4.5 miles RT hike to a 125 ft waterfall. Afternoon: drive to Jamaica State Park. Hike the West River Trail 6 mi RT to Hamilton Falls, a dramatic 1 to 5 ft drop. Camping: Jamaica State Park Campground, riverside sites, showers, easy access to trails. Day 4, bonus: Southern Vermont stops. Optional: Buttermilk Falls. Ludlow, 3 cascades with pools, family-friendly 0.5-mile trail. Pikes Falls. Jamaica Stratton area, short walk to a 20 ft waterfall with swimming hole. Afternoon: scenic drive back north via Route 100, Vermont's Waterfall Highway. Camping: if extending, Coolidge State Park, classic mountaintop camping with great views. Highlights of this itinerary: Northern: Moss Glen and Bingham Falls. Stowe. Central: Warren Falls, Texas Falls, Granville, Moss Glen. Southern Light Brook, Hamilton, Buttermilk Falls. Camping, state park campgrounds near each waterfall cluster. Driving route, scenic Route 100 corridor ties many waterfalls together.